Sometimes it happens. You simply title a video, you start to record it, and then you realize there's a far better title for this. Biden's worst nightmare has now been released. Trove of 18 presidency-ending items are going to explode this administration. We're going to show each one to you as quick as we can because this information cannot afford to be missed. I ran out, threw off the suit coat, then suddenly realized that was far better. A far better way to introduce what you're about to see. So before we get rolling into today's broadcast, huge favor, if you could please just take a few seconds to subscribe to the channel. Make sure your bell is checked so you're alerted to upcoming broadcasts, and your shares and comments are always appreciated. Also just added a new feature to the page, which you'll see here, the join button. By clicking on it, that will allow you to subscribe and support me to continue to bring you these broadcasts. You'll see a supporter level and a contributor level. Contributors get a special discount off restrictedrepublic.com. Biden recession. One word, Biden recession. We're going to give you the annual subscription, very special rate, for $47. Normally $79. Why do we say 47? Because that will be the next president in line. And we know Biden will not be filling that position. So again, use Biden recession annual checkout. Get over to Restricted Republic. Enjoy everything it now has to offer. It will open your eyes, I promise you that. But now let's get back to this broadcast. All right, my friends. Well, the bottom has officially fallen out, which I know many of you realize, anybody who's been watching the stock market, fuel prices, shortage of food, so on and so forth. But until these 18 charts came out, that's right, 18, they don't take that long to go through. But I'll show you why the consumer is not only shaken, the consumer's broken. They're throwing in the towel. They're done. And that spells all but certain disaster for this country. This was on TIPP Insights. 18 charts reveal the darkness behind economic confidence. Americans worry about bills and making ends meet. Inflation is a $460 monthly tax for each household. For now. But they go into statistics surrounding this. Economic optimism crashed to 10-year low as inflation surges. S&P 500 dives. That was at time of this broadcast, of course, but a lot more behind this story. I don't think anybody realizes how shaken the average consumer is. I know everyone around me is feeling the effects of what's happening. So we're going to cover this real quick. I'll drop myself out of the way. IBD TIPP poll, Economic Optimism Index in June, skyrocketing down. Another negative 7.5% down to 38.1. The 6-month outlook, what are people feeling about stuff right now? That's down to 30.6, down 7.8%. Personal financial outlook. How you feeling? How's your future looking? How's your money holding up? Down 7.9% to 46.4. I told you the bottom fell out. These aren't even the highly detailed graphics yet. Federal policies. How do people feel about those? That's down to 37.4%. You could call that an approval rating if you'd like. Down 6.7%. Presidential leadership. Optimistic or pessimistic? Well, that ship has long since sailed. Down 4.5% to 42.7%. And presidential job approval, down 5.1% to 37%. That also goes hand in hand with quality of life, down 4.3% to 46.5%. These numbers are atrocious. How do people feel about the direction of the country? 36.4%. Sounds good. That's horrible. Down 2.2%. And our standing in the world has nosedived. It's down to 36.5%, down another 6.2%. Okay, that was the start off data. That was a little bit of a recap of what you're about to see. As we go into further detail, you see the recession talks. Is it coming? I don't even know how anybody can ask that question anymore. Is your paycheck increasing at the same speed that the cost of goods and materials are increasing? I can pretty much guarantee your answer to that. But here it is, and here's why and what is happening. This is back from the same, TIPP, the IBD Economic Optimism Index and Components. This is 6-month outlook, personal financial outlook, federal policies, and economic optimism index from February of 2020. Forward through to today. These are the numbers we just discussed, a 46.4, 38.1, so on and so forth. So we'll go to the next one now, and we're going to start rolling through these slides rather quickly. The economic optimism by party. Who's more optimistic? Democrats. Wait now. Seems back when Trump was in office, they were not confident at all. They rose up to 73.8%, but suddenly they've tanked back down to 52.7%. They're losing their own party. Republican optimism, highest during Trump, as you'll see, tanking down to 24.4%. And independents following a same trend line, at least as of March 2021 to today. Everybody's losing confidence in the administration. Economic optimism by those who invest or those who don't invest. Well, investors, they were pretty optimistic in the beginning, but we see a tanking in the end along with non-investors and overall, all following very similar trend lines. That spells more money coming out of the stock market, putting it simply. Economic optimism index and components. How's your economic outlook trending? How's your personal financial outlook trending? Federal policies and economic optimism index all plummeting. Inflation concerns. 62% of those surveyed, 62% have concerns over inflation because they know now it's unavoidable. How many broadcasts have we done on that exact statistic? 12-month, May 2021 to May 2022, percent change in CPI, Consumer Price Index. You wouldn't be surprised by the fuel index, up 106.7%. Energy commodities up 50.3%. Motor fuel, 49.1%. Food, 10.1%. Oh, wait now, 10.1%. Everybody's been saying that was only going to be around 8%. Oh, that is not even the tipping point yet. It will continue to accelerate. Pretty much, well, no, not pretty much. Everything has increased. I wonder why people are feeling so gloomy lately. Here's a chart that Biden just has to wake up every morning being so proud of, right? Biden takes office. $2.38. Dollars per gallon. And as you all know now, you see it topping off at 501, much higher than that since this chart was taken. Consumer Price Index. This one, the impacts have not even nearly been felt yet, because when you see how many people are changing their habits, their spending habits, this will all come into very quick perspective. 1.4% January 2021 to 8.6%. Boy, Biden, you're just doing a fabulous job. You and your administration. I just wish the diversity of your administration would have allowed for a diversity and, well, some brain power to actually fix these things, but seems to be excluded from many of your decisions. CPI percent change from preceding month. Again, a recap of the chart you just saw. Don't need to really cover that one. Have your earnings kept pace with inflation? Nope. 55% saying no, not at all. Or I'm just not employed at 20%, not sure at 7%, which only leaves 18% of the people surveyed stating that their wages have kept pace with inflation. Have you cut your spending? Here's the biggest chart. 73% have now cut their spending. That and its long-term impacts on our economy are staggering. You can't pull yourself out unless people are spending money, no matter what anybody tells you. Cutting back on household spending, well, it looks like every single age group and every single income level have all taken a steady decrease in their household spending. Nobody's excluded. This is an overall movement that's happening. This is why you spiral into recessions. Which of the following activities have you reduced? Entertainment, eating out, holiday, vacation, travel, purchasing of any high big ticket items, membership and subscriptions. I wonder, how many of those affect you? I know one affects us. How many of you work in those industries of entertainment or hospitality or restaurants? Everything is unavoidable. It's why we can't allow this to continue. With no end in sight, no plan being given to change it around. Are we in a recession? I'm going to get myself, this is an important slide. Yes, we are in a recession. Now going up to 53% saying yes. 20% saying no. 25% unsure. Those folks really need to come over to this broadcast and start watching, because they would not be unsure, because the numbers are clear. Is the economy improving? Down to 19% saying yes. I don't know how anybody could still say yes. They must only watch CNN and listen to Joe Biden. It's the only way you'd ever say yes. 67% saying no. 13% still unsure. We're almost there. Perception of the economy. The economy is improving is the line you see tanking behind, well, what was my image? Down to 19%. Is the economy in a recession? Up to 53%. Always the graphs behind these charts. And the handling of the economy. Who could do a better job? Percent giving an A grade or a B grade. Democrats are down to 45% giving an A or B to the handling on the economy. Independents, down to 15%. That's a staggering decline. That spells disaster in the midterms. There's just no way around that number. And Republicans never had any confidence since Biden walked in, only going down from 18 to 7%. So although the decline seems minimal, the impact is monstrous. Those are the charts you need to see. What an amazing job Tip Insights did on these graphs, because it goes to show that America has now woken up. They know it's coming. They're battening down the hatches. They're getting ready for the storm. I guess the Democrats are getting ready for one too, aren't they? Because when you provide for information like that, declines like that, you're not going to be reelected. This is going to be beyond the landslide. This is a debacle for those to consider themselves, even though it's the same side of the aisle, Democrats versus Republicans. Because let's be honest, folks, they've all done an absolutely miserable job of fixing any of this. I love you. Can't thank you enough for being here. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.